Boom. All right. I promise it's going to be super quick tonight. Because I feel like it's just something that I feel like a lot of people need to hear this. Because I've talked to a few people about this specifically, and I've actually gotten some mentorship from other people for myself about this. And I thought this was just be a really great topic to talk about. And that is, I don't know if you saw in the event, I put it up earlier, is feeling stuck. What do you do when you are feeling stuck in your business? You feel like everything that you are doing, you've been doing the same things that you were doing that used to work, maybe. Then maybe they worked last month and they're not working this month. Maybe they worked last year. Maybe they've always worked and now all of a sudden it's just not working for you and you just feel stuck and you don't know what to do. And I know for me personally, that's where I'm at. Full transparency, that's where I'm at. I feel stuck, especially when things can just throw off of your routine, your daily routine, your weekly routine, your monthly routine. We were talking before the recording. I don't know if it's the eclipse that happened today, like has thrown me off. And I'm not like a witchy woo person, but like the moon did something to me, I think. I don't know. But so I feel all sorts of thrown off. And that's me personally. If you're feeling that way too, I hope that this can help. Um, so I know also last week, so I know just this week up north, you guys in Vermont, you guys had the really bad storms that happened, right? That can throw you off. That's like a traumatic thing, especially, I mean, I've heard some of the craziness that happened with that. Um, I don't know if you would call this traumatic, but down south, we just had our spring break. And if you are a mom to littles, like some of us are, that can be traumatic too, but it can can just throw you off. And you don't get the things done that you normally would because you're used to your routine. And all of a sudden, something has thrown a wrench in that. You lost electricity because of the storm. I know Nikki did. Surely that's going to throw you off of whatever you do. Um, so just please know that you're not alone in feeling if you're feeling this way. Um, the power of a list. The power of a list. We all know I love a list. Nikki loves a list. Nikki loves a list on a post-it. Um, I don't care where you put your list. Some people prefer to have it like pen and paper. Some people prefer to have it on their phone. Some people prefer to have it on a post-it note. Some people, oh, she's diving into the Excel spreadsheets too, which gives me, no, I'm not there. I will never be there. I will never be on that level for Excel sheets. Whatever type of list works for you, but the power of a list, that just like when we make our goals, the power of saying them out loud, writing them down, the power that you have in that, just putting those things pen to paper or wherever, you have no idea. Just start writing, just start typing, just start making a list, even if you can do it right now. Where are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling stuck in your sponsoring? Are you feeling stuck in your partying? Where are you feeling stuck? Write those things down. Did you not get to something from last month, from last week? I mean, I'll tell you right now, I didn't even get to my thank yous from last month. That's how like thrown off I am. So my thank yous from last month, I'm doing them when I do the thank yous this month. I'm going to get all those done. I'm determined to get back on track. And speaking of getting back on track, you guys know I love, it's in our Google Drive. I have my tasks to stay on track and I have my lists with everything that I do week by week where I can check things off. I'm telling you, I love a list. That's just me personally. Are you stuck on your leadership tasks? Are you stuck on your sponsoring tasks? Um, Adding those things to your list too. Just you have no idea, like just to be able to see it. I don't know about you, but if I put something on a list, I have to cross it off or check it off or whatever, however you mark stuff off. I can't just leave it there. And you know you're always going to leave the hardest stuff to last. Newsflash, the hardest stuff usually only takes you like 15 minutes, by the way. It usually only takes you like 15 minutes. So just getting things on a list, don't even worry about prioritizing what order they go in. Doesn't matter, but just getting them on a list. If all else fails and you don't know where to start at all, I encourage you to start with your follow-ups. If you've never done follow-ups, if you maybe haven't done follow-ups in a year, you haven't done follow, you just don't do follow-ups. You don't think that you need to do follow-ups, do follow-ups, do follow-ups. And if you don't know what to follow up with, when's the last time you sent samples? Follow up with those people that you sent samples to. If you send to the month every month, follow up with those people. Ask them, what did you think of the sample that I made last month? Or maybe you made a post about this month, sent to the month. Follow up on those comments and say, hey, I'm making samples of this. Would you like a sample of this? Even if you're already planning on sending it, open the conversation and follow up with people. You don't always have to just follow up on orders, but you should follow up on orders, making sure that you're sending your thank yous and stuff like that, and following up and asking people how they're liking their order, if there was anything wrong with it, things like that. Following up on connections and conversations you may have had. Those are your host conversations, your join conversations. Don't just let those be a one-time question and then you never reach out to that person again. That makes you a person that those people don't want to talk to. You can't just talk to people just to see if they want to join or host a party and then you never talk to them again. Would you talk to someone who ghosted you? Like, don't do that. So keep up those connections. Those are people that you can follow up with. So don't tell me that you don't have anyone to follow up with if you've already followed up on your orders and your samples. I promise you, you have people to follow up with. Now, I know I said you don't need to prioritize things in a list on your list, but I ask that you do prioritize your list, and not in that the things that are on it, but the list itself. The list itself. Even if you can only work in 5-minute chunks, we've talked about time blocking before, even if your life is crazy chaotic right now, no one's life is crazier or busier than anybody else's. We all have different priorities. We all have different family sizes. We all have different things going on. So it's not a competition for anybody. I'm not even going to say it's not a race, it's a marathon, whatever, none of that stuff. No, everybody's different. Don't compare your life to anybody else's. Everybody's busy. And I'm not saying that, like, if I'm busy, you can't be busy, or we're both busy, but I can do it, you should be able to do it. No, the difference is that I'm trying to make it a priority. So prioritize the fact that you have a list and that you have things to do. And like I said, even if you can only knock things out, 5-minute chunks, 5-minute chunks is all it takes. And I mean, literally, like if you're sitting there thinking, Katrina, I don't have 5 minutes. I don't have 5 minutes to even go pee. Guess what? You do eventually go pee. Even if you are super dehydrated like me, y'all know this isn't water in here. This is Diet Dr. Pepper. I dehydrate. I don't hydrate. Even if you only go pee like maybe twice a day like me, guess what? You still have to go pee. I know, don't freak out, Mindy. I'm sure she's freaking out thinking you can only pee twice. But I mean, it's probably more than that, but I don't know. Say you only go pee twice a day. That still is like 2 little, like 3 to 5 minute water lover. That is like 2 3 to 5 minute blocks where you have to be sat down. I know you brought your phone with you anyways. I know you did. So quickly pick something off of that list, even if it's a follow-up, even if it's a teamy connection, even if it's shouting someone out. You don't have to tell them you're sitting on the toilet. Come on. I don't even want to know how many knows that you pee for at least 21 seconds. So there's that. If you are relaxing in the bathtub, maybe late at night, I don't know. I'm not a bath taker. I'm a shower girl. But you know what I do in the shower? Nikki knows what I do in the shower because Nikki does it too. Nikki does it too. One, if you're not talking to someone on the phone in the shower, we turn cameras off, don't worry. But if we're not doing that, we're training ourselves and we're listening to a training from someone. And it's half the time it's not even anywhere in our upline. If I'm not watching a recording of maybe Nikki's last meeting, I'm watching something from like Melissa Gratz or Debbie Pitts Palmer, or it doesn't have to be someone in our upline that we're listening to. But it's just finding these chunks of times to prioritize. I know you love Anik. Yes, Anik Gervais. She is the bomb. It's just finding time to, even if it's carving out 5 minutes, guys, but it's knowing that I have a list of things to do. Bree says, glad I'm not the only one that talks on the phone in the shower. Yes, all the time. As long as you don't answer the FaceTime call, like I don't see the problem. Or maybe I'm just that friend. I don't know. But it's, anyways, prioritize the fact that you have a list and go, you know what? I have this list and oh my gosh, it's overwhelming me. And I have 20 things on this list. Pick 3 things that you want to get done by the end of the day tomorrow. Just pick 3 things. And guess what? If you only get 2 of them done, it's okay. But guess what? Maybe you get 3 of them done by midday and oh my gosh, I have time. I'm going to pick one more thing. But it's just finding things. And remember, like I said, that those few tasks that you're going to put off because you're like, I don't want to do that. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. Guess what? It's probably really only going to take you like 15 minutes. It really is. And maybe you got to stay up 15 minutes longer or even a half an hour longer after the kids go to bed. I don't know about you guys. I have 5 kids. And no, I'm not saying because I have 5 kids, I have more to worry about than you guys. I'm not saying that. But like when my kids go to bed, that's finally when I get to like decompress my brain. That's my me time. That's when me and Bart can actually spend time together. But if I chunk out 15, 20, even 30 minutes, sometimes even an hour, he works with me on it, whatever. He helps me with stuff. But if there's stuff I need to get done, I know that like I can sacrifice that one day. I'm not saying to do it every day, but that one day, that one chunk of time to knock a bunch of stuff out so that my day looks a little bit less chaotic the next day. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's a little bit of give and take until you can get back into your routine to get back on track and to get unstuck from where you are. I hope that made sense. Maybe you're like me and you need to reward yourself after either your list is done, or if you're like me, reward yourself with every task. There's nothing wrong with rewarding yourself after every task on your list. And that might be, you know what? I'm not going to eat lunch until I, finish up these thank yous. And then I'm going to go get lunch. Or I'm not saying deprive yourself of your food because I know like Mindy can get hungry. But maybe there's a show you want to catch on Netflix that you're currently watching. Okay. I'm not going to watch Netflix until all my follow-ups are done. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to, when I'm done with this, I get to do this. When I'm done with this, then I get to do this. Reward yourself. Maybe so you get to do something. Maybe you get to eat something. Maybe you get to go somewhere. I know I got to go to Target tomorrow, but before I go to Target, I really want to make sure that I reach out to X, Y, and Z and worry about this, this, and this. Before I even get up out of bed tomorrow, I want to make sure all my party posts are scheduled. Whatever it is. Reward yourself after every task if you need to. If that's how your brain is wired, then so be it. And then once you're doing that, this is not even me saying this as a director, star director, anything. Share what is working for you and share what is struggling for you. Share where you're struggling. Be transparent with people. It's okay. Even if you are the best of the best on our team, I'm not like pointing anyone out, but like if people look up to you because of your sponsoring or people look up to you for your because you are always partying, but you are lacking parties right now, it's okay to share that with people. Maybe you are lacking in sponsoring right now, hardcore. Share that with your people. Be transparent with people because when you share what you're doing and what's working for you and what's not working for you, you might go on your team page, your director's page, or your upline's page, or any page that you're sharing to look for inspiration. You could possibly be inspiring someone else just by sharing where you're struggling at, because people might be like, wow, I didn't know that person was having a problem with that. But you know what? I have freaking 6 parties this month. I'm going to share how I got those 6 parties booked. Maybe you booked those 6 parties freaking 2 months ago. Well, how'd you book them though? Think back and remember how you booked them, because it might help that person who normally doesn't need help just to be able to think outside of the box. Okay. So that's my spiel for that. I hope that it helps you get unstuck from where you are. Nikki says, my Monday's tasks are working on 5 reach outs for parties and Happy Meal. Yep. And she knows if that's the only thing she gets done, she's like, dang it, that's what I'm going to get done. But it's okay if she doesn't get it done because she'll just tack it on to tomorrow. And if she's smart, I feel like I remember hearing from Shonda. Shonda is on here. She has like a catch-all day where the things that she didn't get to all week. Am I right in that, Shonda? You don't have to unmute. You can just put it in the chat if you want, or you can unmute. But I feel like I heard you say you have a catch-all day. Yes, her Fridays are her catch-all days. So don't, like Nikki said in the chat, don't overcomplicate it. But the important thing is to just start. You got to start somewhere. And if you don't know where to start, start with the follow-ups, but just make a list. It doesn't matter how fancy it is. It can be on a Post-it note, the back of a freaking envelope, or you can be fancy and do it up on Canva or whatever. I don't care anymore. Like, don't let people tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing in your business as long as you're doing something. Do something. So that's it for me. I'm going to stop the recording, and then if anybody has any questions about anything, we can go from there.